Alright y'all, this is my General Signals Type 2 electronic bell. I ordered this off of eBay a few days ago from a seller out in California. I had a bunch of bells, including several e-bells, for a pretty fair price. I also had Safe Trend Type 2 I probably should have picked up, but didn't jump on that one fast enough. But I did decide to get this one. As you can see, it's in much better shape than my dead General Signals Type 1. And there is a bit of fading up here for the paint. That's not too surprising. This one is obviously much newer than my Type 1. As you can see, the bolts on the side are not corroded out, so if I wanted to I could open this up easily, but I don't really feel like trying to open up and mess with it. Mostly because I don't actually want to break it, and I'm not sure if and to be quite honest, I'm not sure if I'd be able to get the wires for the speaker back in, so I'm not really going to test it, see if the Type 1 works on the bell, if the Type 1 works through the speaker or not. But speaking of the speaker, right up in there you can see him. He's in good shape. Alright, came with these 3 bolts. I don't know if these were the original mounting bolts or not. I don't think so, because I want to say I'd have to double check. They might be, but they're definitely mounting bolts, that's for sure. Because as you can see, this guy doesn't have any mounting bolts in the base, but I'm probably not going to use them because I don't have anything to mount with. Alright, there's of course my Wisconsin Hayes electronic bell, which I'm about to be testing this with. But yeah, this is my General Signals Type 2 electronic bell. I was actually expecting this to come October 8th, as that's when eBay said it would arrive by, and well, it certainly arrived by then because it came early. But hey, it arrived and it works, so that's what I'm happy about. Over and out. Alright, and now it's a few hours later. I've just been recording a few bell combinations. But it turns out that between the General Signals Type 1 and the Type 2, they changed the design of the General Signals e-bell. Because here's the newer one, the GS Type 2. Can't really pull this off. I mean, I probably could, but it'd be rather, yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it's not really gonna want to come off unless I literally remove the breadboard, at least probably. Or at least unhook it from the bottom there. Ooh, that'd be fun. But what I was gonna do, I mean, you can see right there, there's the underside of the circuit board. But this is pretty much how they solved the issues with the water leakage on the Type 1s, because as you know, the Type 1s have their breadboards mounted directly to the top there. And then the Type 2s, they have this little plate sitting in there that the breadboard mounts onto. So what I was gonna see about doing was taking the wires from the speaker for this bell and wiring them to that breadboard just to see if it would operate. But I'm gonna have to figure out something. Probably have to, like I said, probably have to remove the bottom first, which will be fun. Remove the wires from the bottom, which would be fun. But yeah, just thought I'd show you all the quick addition to the walk around my bell, my Type 2, just showing how the two bells are different inside. Over and out. Alright, so after getting my after recording all my bells and with the GS Type 2 and testing the Type 1, see if it would work, and sadly it does not. I put these up there on my shelf and I noticed that there is a slight difference between the two for a GS Type 1 and GS Type 2. Obviously on the left's my Type 1 that's dead, and right there's my Type 2 which works. But something I noticed is that there are a few physical differences. First off, the biggest one's the fact that the GS Type 2 is slightly shorter, as you can see. It's got a slight difference in height. But it gets a bit more physical, so I think we might have a way to physically tell the difference from a Type 1 from a Type 2 or Type 3. I can't say for certain if a Type if there's any difference between Type 2 or Type 3. I mean, if I know MCKH and Ost, he has a GS Type 3, so he can note if he notices any differences on his Type 3 from my Type 2, but anyways, first off is the base here. I notice on the base the bolts attaching it to the body of the bell. On the GS Type 1 they are about halfway up the band, whereas on the GS Type 2, if this will focus, they are near the top. Next up is the speaker, is the holes on it for the speaker. First off, the GS Type 2's holes appear to be slightly larger, and it appears to go, which means that it appears to go down a bit more than the Type 1. I think it is slightly lower overall, but as you can see, this guy on the GS Type 2, it's closer to the base than it is on the GS Type 1. And then same way with the top there between the cap and the speaker chamber. This guy, it's shorter, so he's closer than the Type 1 is. And as such, if you look closely, you can see where the speaker hangs out underneath as a result, because the speaker is just simply a bit too, it's the space up there where the speaker would go in the speaker chamber is just simply too short. And then finally, the last difference I noticed is on the cap where the bolts are. On the GS Type 2, as you can see, they're right there at the bottom of the cap. Whereas on GS Type 1, I mean, right there's one of the screw holes. I would have them in there, but I removed them because they were just corroded beyond all belief, and I didn't want to fiddle with trying to get them back in there. And I figured since this thing wasn't exactly going to be spending any more time outside as much, it wouldn't really matter. But yeah, the screw holes are slightly differently positioned on the GS Type 1, it appears. So yeah, I think we do have a way to finally physically tell the difference from a Type 1 from a Type 2 or Type 3 without just looking at how faded it is. I can't say so, which isn't always reliable. So yeah, this is just kind of a third amendment to my walk around of my GS Type 2 e-bell. Over and out.